Hello, everybody. So it's the composer who loves a guitar. And back to show you some things. Theoretically, that'll hopefully get you into composing songs and have your life a little bit easier. So on the guitar, the way the guitar is set up, there's a lot of shapes. It's a shape instrument, which is a really good thing. So if I take a little G chord and take this top note and put it down an octave and keep the other two notes the same. So I have these two shapes. If I do that again, I take the top note and put it down an octave. Now I have this shape. And one more time, I take this and put it down an octave. I get this shape. And so if I put these together, they're and that makes the PC, which means the position of the note on top. So this is the position of the root. It's got the root on top. Now it's the fifth on top. Right? Third on top, and now we're back to the root on top. So this and this are the same voicing, just an octave difference. So here, should know that those two shapes. The reason they're shape difference is because of the tuning. These two strings are a third instead of the fourth like these guys. Right? It's not a fourth. So what I want you to know is that when we are playing chords, we want a voice lead. People talk about voice leading, but I don't think they explain it as well as I've heard it explained. I'll put it that way. So voice leading basically has to do with the root tone, which direction it's going. So if I'm going from a G chord to a C chord, that's an ascending. It's going up. If I go G, C, F, that's ascending, and that's ascending in fourths. But I call those fourth intervals, it's 5 semitones, so I call them fives, okay? And so if I want to play a G chord and a C chord and an F chord, I want to read the voices down because the roots are ascending. That will give me contrapuntal harmonic balance. So here's what I mean. So let's start with a G chord, okay? I have a 1 on top. Here it is. Here's the root. So the 1 is going to stay there, and it becomes the 5 of the C chord. And then it becomes the 3 of the F chord. Then it becomes the 1 of the B flat chord. So we're really going 1, 5, 3, 1, 5, 3. So we're 1, 5, 3, 1. We're coming down as the root's going up. Okay, so that's okay. So let's look at how that's going. It's the 1. I play the root and the note. So now it's the 5, and that moves up to the 3. And then we're on B flat. It's the 1. Then it's the 5 of the E flat. Then it's the 3 of the A flat. And so I'm reading 1, 5, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1 as the roots are going up. And that gives me this type of voice leading if I ever do that with everybody. Like here I'm starting on the 5 of the G chord. Okay, so the 5 of the G chord is going down to the 3 of the C chord. is going down to the 1 of the F chord, is going down to the 5, which means it doesn't actually move because the 1 of F and the 5 of B flat is F. So this has nothing to do with the movement. It's which scale tone it's playing, or which chord tone. So, and if I start on the 3rd of the G, okay, 3 is going down to 1 for the C. The 1 is going to the 5 of F. Okay, so here's the movement. If you listen to each voice. Now, okay? And so if you hear how those voices are moving, they have an interesting, a very interesting movement. You can hear it's musical because it's being voice-led. So let's say I want to do an arpeggiation. Going through the major triads at first, very simple. And I have this progression, which is fourths ascending. So it's going to be G, C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, right? So it's fourths ascending. And I want to, since I'm ascending in the bass, I want to read it down. So let's say I'm going to start on the 5 of a G chord. I'm going to read it down. So I'm going to go 5, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1. So it's and reverse it. Now that's just major chords in the cycle of fourths or fifths, if you want to call it that, in diatonic music. But this will help you get your chops together, and you'll be able to find out, starting on what note, there's lines. Because you notice a note repeats itself when I do this. Okay, so what if I start not on the 5, on the 3rd or the 3? Now you notice it doesn't repeat. It's an actual line in it. So this is a pretty line. You can start to get really pretty lines with this thinking opposite direction. And it's kind of like a little beginning counterpoint because I'm going the opposite direction of the root. So if I start on the 1, now I got 1, 5, 3, 1, 5, 3, right? Then 1, 5, 1, 5, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1, 5, 3. You know, it's now, if you understand how that works and you're voice leading chords, you can know how the harmonies can move. So let's say you had 2 guitar players. You could have one guy doing one voice, using voice leading and the next guy doing another voice, you'd come up with some pretty interesting parts. So that means because there's 3 tones in a triad, there's only 3 positions. So you just have to learn 3 positions, but on each set of strings. But so here's the 3 positions. Then it starts again. Then it starts again. Okay, now on the next set of strings. And then on the next set of strings. And then it goes all the way down, because if that's the next set, then this is the last set. And this gets muddy. So this is a mud range for close triads. You got to be careful. So it's can play that a little cleaner. So that's voice leading, and voice leading is very important. And if you could just play one line at a time and start seeing it playing the bass note too. So I'm going to start on 5, right? So where's 5 going? If my triad is 1, 3, 5. I should be doing this backwards, but anyway, 1, 3, 5. My root's going up. So if I start on 5, I'm going down to 3. And if I'm starting on 3, it's going down to 1. And if I'm starting on 1, it's going to 5. So I can go down again, right? So I'm starting on 5. So 5 is going to go to 3. So here's the line you practice. That's the line. It's just going to repeat, okay? So that's starting on the 5. What about 3? Right, so now it's going to be, sorry. Right, so you want to get this. Okay, now what if I start on the 1? I'll put the 1 up here. Sorry. That doesn't sound like it's that much fun, but think about the lines. So now you got so you put a little line together and it becomes a little theme, like a 3-note theme or a motif. A motif. And you want little motifs in your music because that's what people can remember because they're simple notes. So that is the little introduction of major triads and voice leading and why you would learn to voice lead having each note go in the opposite harmonic range from the root. If the root was going the other way, descending, then it would be the opposite. Then I would read things up. So if I'm going, for example, D down to A to E, okay? So I'm going to read things up. Because if I'm going D, that's the 3rd, right? So I'm going to go up. So the 3rd is going to go to the 5th. Right? It's going to go to the root. Going to the 3rd. Right? So it's the opposite. I know this is a little brain twister. So therefore, there is a PDF. And I'm going to put the PDF here so you can see. And there's tab on it too. And it's just a simple little exercise if you get used to this. Right? Get used to this. repeats. And just reverse it. Anyway, so that's a little idea about voice leading. And I want you to just practice that. And you get it from the PDF. It's in tab, so it should be pretty fun. It gets a little exercise. You get a little exercise when you're doing this with your hands, because it'll put you in some interesting positions you might not normally do. Because in composition, when you're orchestrating, you're going to think in terms of sections: the brass section, the woodwind section, the string section. And the secret to good orchestration is to always have the sections complete, to have complete sections balanced. That means they would all have the 1, the 3, the 5, or they're all playing lines together. So on the guitar, we want to know how little 3-part triads will voice lead. And because that's going to help us get a contrapuntal movement, which feels better than parallel movements. We'll talk a lot more about this in the future. This may have got a little bit heady. I apologize for that, because it's not my intention. My intention is to keep it to where it's all fun. But the main thing is there's a nice little exercise on the PDF for you to get. And if you really, really love this stuff and you're getting into it, I highly suggest that you become a member of the Academy. It's musicintervaltheory.academy. And that is a great place. Or you could just go to our virtual campus, which is musicintervaltheory.academy/campus. It's open, it's free. Campus is free. Always great lectures there and stuff going on. So, all right, that's it for today. Thank you for taking the time to be interested and listen. And I hope you got something. I know this was a little drier than normal, but it's much, much, much more important than you might think. Okay, take care. Have a blessed day.